A reflection for Tuesday, August 4th, Memorial of St. John Mary Vianney. Today I want to do something different. I want to talk to you about your story, but I want to talk about it in light of a man called John Mary Vianney. You have probably heard about him. Perhaps you know the stories of his terrible academic performance in the seminary and how he was repeatedly told that he was not suited for the priesthood. By every human calculation, he was a failure. His intellect seemed too weak, his Latin too poor, and the institutional system had every reason to conclude that he will never make it. Yet God saw what others could not see, which is what God always does. Today, John Mary Vianney teaches us that God's call is not determined by our brilliance, but by our availability. And now, nonetheless, human institutions must make judgments, and they are often necessary, but they are not infallible. Sometimes they can make, or sometimes they can mistake slow growth for lack of vocation, weakness for uselessness, or struggle for failure. But God has a remarkable habit of writing his greatest stories through people the world almost rejected. Now, that is exactly the hope we hear today in our first reading from Jeremiah chapter 30. Israel's wounds are described as incurable. Your injury is beyond healing. Here, the people have reached a point where every diagnosis is hopeless. Yet, the very God who names the wound also promises, I will restore your fortunes. I will rebuild you. You shall be my people, and I will be your God. This is why God is not limited by the verdicts of history nor the conclusions of human logic. His mercy creates possibilities where none seems to exist. Also, our gospel today from Matthew's Gospel, chapter 15, carries the same lesson from another angle. Jesus warns against blind guides who mistake external appearances for the truth. They judge people by traditions and outward standards while failing to recognize the living work of God before them. How often do we do the same? We label people too quickly. We conclude that someone is too broken, too ordinary, too weak, or too useless. But John Mary Vianney eventually became the core of ours. The man who struggled to pass his exam spent hours in the confessional, drew thousands to conversion, and became the patron saint of parish priests. His greatest qualification was a heart completely surrendered to God. My dear friend, God's call is stronger than your limitations, and his grace is greater than the world's verdict. Never give up. May God bless you.